Hi everyone. I'm presenting the paper Language Models are Unsupervised Multitask Learners published by OpenAI in 2019. And this is the paper that introduced GPT-2. So I'm going to show the paper directly as I walk through it. And let me get started. So looking at the abstract, so the core claim is the language model is trained on a large, diverse data set of web text that I can learn to perform tasks like, question answering or translating and also summarizing, and without any supervised learning training at all. And this is why they called it as zero-shot task transfer. And the author just started by pointing a fundamental problem is how machine learning systems were built at the time. And the systems were trained on a single task, single domain data set. And they were narrow expert rather than competent generalist. And they break easily with data sets distributed shifted silently. And the hypothesis is right here. So it says our suspicion is that the prevalence of single task training on single domain data sets is a major contribution that lack of generalization while observing in current systems. And so basically, it means that the training on a single domain is a major reason for poor generalization. So the problem becomes, what if instead of collecting labeled data sets for each task, we just train a massive amount of, naturally occurred text and let the model figure out the text on its own. So then talking about the approaches. So their approach has like two key components. And first, the framing, which is any text can be expressed as a text sequence. And translation is just like English sentences. For example, translate to like French sentences. And the reading comprehension is document, answers, questions, and answer. If you train a language model to, predict text well, it implicitly learns to do all of these. And second is the data. So instead of Common Crawl, which they found has serious quality issues, they actually built our web text by scraping outbound links from Reddit. They receive at least like three karma. And the idea is that human apples serve as a qualified filter, and the result is like 40 gigabytes of text across 8 million documents. And as you can see from here in the table, and on the model side, they trained four sizes of transformer, and from 107 million to 1.5 billion parameters. And the large one is what they call like the GPT-2. And then let's move on. Um, so let's look at the results. So one standard language model benchmark GPT-2 achieves almost like state-of-art 7 out of 8 datasets, zero shot, and also no fine-tuning at all. And then you can see the perplexity number drops sustainability as model size increases. And also by the more interesting result on downstream tasks. So here, figure one, which is actually summarizes across reading comprehension, translation, summarization, and question answering. Performance actually scale along linearly with model sizes, and bigger is basically consistently better. And over here, on Co COQA and conversational reading comprehension benchmark, GPT-2 achieves 55 F1 matches or exceeding 3 out of 4 comprehension baselines without using any of the 102 and 7,000 label training examples those baseline were trained on. And this is a striking result. And on the long run schema challenge, a common sense region test, GPT-2 improves state of art accurately 7 percentage points. And talking about summarization, well, this is struck. I mean, it actually struggles with summarization. So basically, the transnational summaries are qualitatively reasonable, but only barely outperform picking three random sentences from the article. And the translation and the QA, um, it actually there are some signs of capability, but the result in from are still low. So then talking about the one important methodology point. So the author checked whether GPT-2 is just memorization test data set. And they used Bloom filters to measure 8-gram overlap between web text and also benchmark test set. And the overlap exists around 1 to 6%, but removing overlapping samples barely changes the result. So actually, the performance is mostly genuine generalization. And talking about the conclusion, so the author are honest about the limitations. So basically, there are zero shot GPT um, is still far from usable for practical applications, but as a result, the paper is hugely significant. And it demonstrated that skill and data diverse alone without any task-specific supervision can give users surprisingly broad capabilities. And these ideas directly inspired GPT-3, uh, which pushed this much further with few short prompting and also ultimately set the trajectory for modern language model we are in right now. So the paper titles is in language models trained purely on next word predictions turn out to be unsupervised multitask learners. Thank you.